Jim Jones sat in a sleek, modern studio with the quiet hum of anticipation filling the air. His emotions were written on his face as he leaned forward, preparing to share a deeply personal and shocking chapter of his life. His voice had been steady for years, but there was something different about the way he spoke today. There was an intensity, a rawness that couldn't be ignored. "My wife, Chrissy Lampkin, stole my $7 million, he said, pausing for a moment to let the weight of those words sink in. He locked eyes with the camera, daring anyone to question the truth of his statement. "You hear me?" he continued. "I thought I had everything figured out: love, success, a future with Chrissy. But recently, I discovered something that shattered everything I thought I knew about her and about us." That's not a small thing, losing $7 million. It's huge. Jim's voice faltered slightly as he reflected on how everything had started. "My career began from scratch. I worked hard every day to build my reputation. But then, the person I trusted most, the person I thought would always be by my side, betrayed me. I never saw this coming. The shock hit me like a ton of bricks." He paused, shaking his head in disbelief. "We built a life together. I thought we were a team," he said, his voice filled with hurt. "But it started with little things: strange transactions, money disappearing from our accounts. At first, I thought it was just bad investments or maybe mismanagement. But then, I had to dig deeper. I needed to know what was really going on." His expression turned serious, and the anger mixed with hurt in his eyes was unmistakable. "What I found was like something out of a movie. It was bizarre to see the person I considered my partner, someone I'd be willing to do anything for, act like it was all in my head. But I had the proof: documents, bank statements. It was all right there." Jim paused again, clearly still in pain. "I'm not one to air out dirty laundry, but this isn't just about money. It's about respect. It's about the foundation we built, the life we were supposed to have together. What hurts the most is that I would have given her everything. I wanted to build a future with her, but instead she chose to betray my trust." He ran a hand through his hair, clearly frustrated and disheartened. "Love is supposed to be about honesty and loyalty. But in that moment, I felt like a fool. I believed in her, and she let me down. I've learned a painful lesson from all of this. Sometimes, the people closest to you can be the ones who hurt you the most." Jim took a deep breath and leaned back in his chair. "Right now, I'm just picking up the pieces. I'm focusing on my music and my brand. It's going to take time, but I won't let this define me. I've come too far to let one betrayal hold me back. I'm taking my power back, one step at a time." His gaze softened as he thought about the future. "If there's anything I hope people take from this, it's that you should always trust your gut. Don't ignore the signs. And if something feels off, pay attention. Be cautious, because sometimes the people you trust the most are the ones who can hurt you the deepest." With those final words, Jim stood up, his demeanor shifting from one of pain to resolve. He was ready to face whatever came next in his life, determined to move forward. The room felt heavy with the mixture of heartbreak and resilience that seemed to hang in the air. Jim Jones was prepared to take control of his story and move on, no matter the obstacles. The relationship between Jim Jones and his longtime partner, Chrissy Lampkin, had always been a subject of public fascination. Despite years together, they had never married, and their relationship was often scrutinized in the media. In fact, the couple had faced numerous challenges and obstacles, both public and private. Chrissy had hinted at issues in their relationship, but her recent cryptic Instagram post made it clear that she was approaching a breaking point. On Friday, September 2, Chrissy posted a mysterious image with a caption that read, "I know that neither of us will ever find someone like me. Good luck trying, though. I'll replace you by tomorrow." This statement, although vague, seemed to indicate that Chrissy was contemplating the end of her relationship with Jim. Many of Jim's fans and followers speculated that the post was about her strained relationship with him. For years, the couple had been an item, but it was clear that Jim had his doubts about taking their relationship to the next level. This was evidenced by the fact that Chrissy had once proposed to him, but Jim hadn't given her a direct answer. The couple had been engaged for some time, but had not yet tied the knot, despite the years they'd spent together. Their relationship was far from conventional, and over the years, there had been a number of ups and downs. They had met almost 20 years ago in a Harlem lounge, and their connection was instant. However, things took a complicated turn when Chrissy proposed to Jim on VH1's Family Reunion, Love and Hip Hop Edition. She had taken a bold step by getting down on one knee, but Jim didn't immediately say yes. Instead, their conversation quickly escalated into a heated argument, with Chrissy expressing her frustrations about their relationship. "I want you to be this loving, sexual, crazy cook, and everything else you expect from me," she said during the confrontation. "But you come home and you're cold. You're distant. You're mean." The tension between the two was palpable, and Jim admitted to his fear of commitment and his own shortcomings. Chrissy, however, was frustrated, saying that she didn't want to give the impression that she was selfish, but at the same time, she couldn't ignore the issues they had been facing. In 2021, after 18 years together, Chrissy expressed her frustration in another interview. "I've always been a family man," Jim said. "I try to support and create money. That's all I know how to do." Chrissy, visibly upset, had been grappling with the reality that their relationship might not go the way she had hoped. She loved Jim deeply, but the cracks in their bond had become more apparent. One evening, after discovering some troubling photos of Jim laughing and holding hands with another woman, Chrissy's world came crashing down. Sitting on the couch in their dimly lit living room, she stared at her phone, her eyes red from crying. Jim had just walked through the door, unaware of the storm brewing inside their home. When he saw Chrissy's anguished expression, he quickly realized something was terribly wrong. Chrissy showed him the pictures on her phone, and Jim's face turned pale as the realization sank in. He struggled to find the right words, running a hand through his hair in frustration. Chrissy, tears streaming down her face, shook her head in disbelief and turned away, trying to process her emotions. Jim stood there, desperately trying to explain himself, but Chrissy emotionally distanced herself, crossing her arms and refusing to engage. After a long silence, Jim nodded, recognizing the gravity of his actions. Without saying another word, he quietly exited the room. Chrissy collapsed on the couch, her phone slipping from her hand as she cried. She felt lost, betrayed, and unsure of what to do next. As the camera panned out, the room looked desolate, a reflection of the emotional turmoil she was experiencing. Despite the pain, Chrissy had always made it clear that she truly loved Jim. While their relationship had been full of ups and downs, she had remained devoted to him, despite the doubts and uncertainties that surrounded them. Her recent Instagram post, however, suggested that she was reaching a breaking point. She was tired of waiting for things to change, and her statement seemed to indicate that she might be ready to move on. For years, fans had speculated about why Jim and Chrissy had not yet married. Some believed that it was due to personal issues, while others pointed to Jim's reluctance to commit. The pair had been together for nearly 2 decades, but their relationship had never fit into the mold of a typical couple. Their struggles with commitment and trust had been well documented, but there was always a sense that they cared deeply for each other, despite the tension. The couple's long engagement and lack of a wedding had become a point of curiosity for many. Chrissy's recent post only added fuel to the fire, with fans wondering if their love story was nearing its end. The uncertainty surrounding their future relationship only deepened the mystery, leaving many to speculate about the reasons behind their struggles. As Chrissy continued to focus on her personal growth and well-being, it became clear that she was at a crossroads in her life. She had hinted at wanting more from her relationship, but whether or not Jim would meet her halfway remained uncertain. The challenges they faced together highlighted the complexities of love and relationships, especially when they are lived out in the public eye. For Chrissy, the idea of marriage seemed less important than her own happiness and personal development. She had spent years trying to navigate the ups and downs of her relationship with Jim, but it was unclear whether they would ever make it to the altar. The pressures from fans, family, and the public made it difficult to know what to do next, and Chrissy was left grappling with her emotions and desires. Ultimately, the future of their relationship remained uncertain. Would they marry, or would they go their separate ways? No one could say for sure. What was clear, however, was that both Jim and Chrissy had experienced significant growth throughout their time together. As they faced the challenges of their relationship, they learned valuable lessons about love, commitment, and personal growth. The story of Jim and Chrissy's relationship is a reminder that love is rarely a straightforward journey. It's full of twists, turns, and challenges that force us to confront our deepest fears and desires. Whether or not Jim and Chrissy ultimately find their way to a happy ending, their journey serves as a testament to the complexities of love and the importance of staying true to oneself. As time goes on, the world will continue to watch and wait for updates on their relationship. Regardless of where their path leads, the one thing that will always remain is their shared experiences and the lessons they've learned along the way. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more updates.